new Patrick Ta foundation is here, so let's give it a try. I have 3 shades, so I'm going to swatch them and see which one's my best match. This is 9 golden, 11 golden, 13 olive. I'm gonna go with 13 olive. This is supposed to be a very hydrating, glowy, luminous foundation. I have oily skin, so I'm really cautious with glowy foundations because a lot of the time they just don't work well with my skin. There are a few that I do like, but I'm usually really picky about them, so I hope I like this one. I always use a brush, so I'm gonna stick to that to see how it works with my usual routine. I also don't usually use primers. I'll only really use them if they're like a blurring primer, but even those, I don't use them very often. I find that good skin prep is usually enough. This foundation is definitely very hydrating, very glowy, and the shade match is actually really good. I have a neutral undertone, so it can be really hard for me to find foundations that are just right, but this one is really good. What I'm worried about with this foundation is the wear. I do have oily skin. My oils come through pretty quickly, and I'm really bad about retouching my makeup. Once I put my makeup on, that's usually it. So I prefer products that I don't have to retouch very often, if at all. I would say it's like a medium coverage. I always spend time working my complexion products into my skin, but I feel like this one is taking just slightly longer to settle. This is the before, and this is how it looks with the foundation on. It feels very hydrating. It's very glowy. I always set my makeup, so I'm gonna go all the way and see how it wears. There's a close-up of how it looks on my skin. This is the foundation on my whole face. I always use a cream bronzer, blush, and liquid concealer, and this is where I started to feel like things weren't going so well. First of all, when I was applying each product, it almost felt like the foundation itself was too slippery and it was moving around. When I went to blend out the concealer on my nose, the foundation under actually completely lifted and I had to redo my whole nose. This foundation is not for me. I don't think it's for my type of skin. This is how it looks once my face is set. I use the same exact products I use with my routine pretty much every single time. By using the same exact products, I'm able to compare more accurately, and honestly, I'm seeing a lot of shininess coming through, and I literally just set my face 3 minutes ago. Normally, this is the kind of shininess I see coming through from my oils at like the 4 or 5 hour mark, and I'm seeing it right away. So I'm thinking that at the 4 or 5 hour mark, it would be considerably more, and I feel like it's just not good for my skin. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see that better. Right here, it's emphasizing a lot of texture that I don't normally have an issue with. As I'm sitting here, I feel like I'm seeing more and more oiliness come through. I love the look of glowy skin. That's what my skincare is all about. But when it comes to makeup, I feel like it can be a little bit tricky to find the right balance. You really have to make sure that you have the glowiness in the right areas. For example, I don't want it to be glowy right here, and that is where I'm seeing most of the glow right now. So I feel like I'd have to be fighting that all day. If you have dry skin, I think you will love this foundation. If you have oily skin, maybe not. For me, it's a no. As a makeup artist, I wouldn't necessarily carry a foundation like this in my kit because I feel like it would work best for a specific skin type and it's not versatile enough. I was gonna do a wear test, but I'm gonna take it off. Sorry, Patrick, I love you. When it comes down to it, everything can't work for everyone, and unfortunately, this foundation is not for me.